three, puts it through. He'll launch a three, got it. Boy, the Bucks are as hot as they can be. You got it again. This is an amazing display. Guard! Always a flamethrower.
It's raining threes.
Wow.
It is raining threes here for Milwaukee.
A first quarter three-point barrage by the Bucks set the tone and virtually eliminated any chance of the Heat winning tonight. In Game 2, the Bucks win at 132-98. Post-game coverage here on Playoff Central Live. That's the Hall of Famer Kevin McHale right there. The Hall of Famer Isaiah Thomas with us as well. I'm Matt Weiner. I'm not in any halls of fame anywhere on Earth. Well, probably never, but that's okay.
Probably never.
Most of us never
right,
wind up in a Hall of Fame, and that's just fine.
Probably never true,
I'm going to ask for some deep analysis on this Bucks win beyond the fact that they hit a gazillion threes in the first quarter, Zeke, and basically put the game away. What you got?
I look at, what has happened to Bam. I mean, when you look at the Miami Heat in terms of Bam and Butler and Hero, those three, can't make shots. And it appears that, they've lost all confidence in their shooting. And I really don't know why. I mean, Bam is getting he's turning down 6-foot, 7-foot shots wide open. Lopez is under the rim, and he's not even looking at the rim. What made Miami so successful last year in the bubble was that Bam played at that high post, mid post offense, and he was able to knock down foul shots. He was able to drive the basketball. He was able to score from that, and that opened up a lot of things for Miami. Right now, they're getting nothing out of the center position from Bam, from a scoring threat or scoring position.
Well, and also Bam could do nothing about the 10 made threes in the first quarter or the 22 for the game for the Milwaukee Bucks. Remember, it was Miami that hit 20 in Game 1 and still couldn't beat the Bucks. And tonight, obviously, Bryn Forbes has the night of his professional life as a basketball player, and the Bucks just went nuts in that first quarter. The place goes nuts, and they basically run away with the game with a 26-point lead.
Yeah, the threes really opened it up. But then you very seldom see Miami just completely break down defensively. They were running at one guy on the perimeter. They gave up layups. They gave up everything after that, just barrage in that first quarter of those threes. But you know what? They just ran into an unbelievably hot team. But that's very unusual for me to watch Miami and have them kind of all their principles go out the window defensively. They're usually a very disciplined defense that's going to stay with their program and do what they do. But they had two running the ball, giving up layups and dunks. I mean, the whole thing just imploded on them. And Isaiah made a good point. You got guys playing out there that have no confidence whatsoever. Bam's getting the ball at 15 feet. His man is inside the charge circle, and he's not even looking at shooting the ball. I mean, you got guys driving in there, trying to jump in the air and throw the ball out to shooters. It's they're funky. I thought that they would come back tonight and just be better. Just stay with their defensive principles, but just be better offensively. And they wasn't even a game from the first 5-6 minutes.
Yeah.
That was it.
The Bucks won in every conceivable way you could. They won all four quarters. They won in the paint. They won on second chance points. They won on fast break points. They led by 36. Here's Eric Spoelstra trying to make sense of it.
Of a game just decided by their energy at the outset? What happened there at the beginning to set the tone?
Well, they definitely set the tone for the game, without a doubt. With their energy, the pressure, 94 feet, and then just playing, a lot in transition or semi-transition. And they're a great, first quarter team. When they can get it rolling and clicking, that's what they've done for large parts of the year.
The way they pounded you on the boards, especially the offensive rebounds, 21, what can you do to counter that? How devastating was that?
Yeah, that's got to change, period.
And how does that change? Individually, more effort, adjustments?
There's a lot of different layers to it, but the first part of it is a physicality aspect. When the ball goes up, ball in the air, ball on the floor, we have to be much better.
And your team leaders, Jimmy and Bam, still not at the top of their games in either of these two. Was that more of a situation of the way the game turned? It was hard to get their footing, or is there something that can be done to maybe get them going?
Probably both. Probably have to do some things, to help them. This game it just got out of hand so quickly. It's tough to say, but you do have to respect, what they did, tonight, because it's not. as if they haven't done this to teams at all. They're really explosive in those first and third quarters.
And then just the series as a whole, game one just one shot away from maybe being tied 1-1. Then this game, obviously a blowout. What's the team's mentality for these next 2 days leading to Thursday's game?
Well, we get to work. This is the playoffs. They all count the same. Whether you win, like that, in a possession game or like this. But we have to be better.
Next we go to Anthony Chang.
Okay, so with the different ways Milwaukee's using Giannis off the ball this year, how much harder has it been to kind of build the wall in front of them, like keep them out of the paint, especially tonight?
Well, tonight, it's tough to say. They were knocking down so many threes, which they're very capable of doing. They're a great three-point shooting team. You have to do your work early, and you certainly are going to have to make multiple efforts.
And then Dedmon, through all of that, he gave some productive minutes. What did you think about his minutes, and then what led to you playing him along with Bam? I know we haven't seen much of that so far this year since he signed with you guys.
Yeah, I thought he gave us, quality minutes. His energy, you feel it, both ends of the court. He finds himself in the right spot around the ball, quite often.
What did you like about the minutes with Bam, though?
I'll have to take a look at it.
Okay, thank you.
Tonight's winning performance fueled by Gatorade. No surprise comes from the Milwaukee side. In the first half, when they set a franchise record for most points in the first half of a postseason game with 78, they also knocked down 15 threes, second most in the first half of a playoff game by any NBA team ever, and led by 27, one of the largest playoff leads ever. Mike Budenholzer basking with a 2-0 lead.
Yeah, they know that that's what we got to do. We got to make them feel us. We got to, pressure the ball, make their entries tough, make everything tough for them. And we got to take care of both boards. We got to take care of the defensive boards. We want to make money on the offensive boards. That's what we got to keep doing.
The offensive glass is something that obviously you guys have emphasized more this year, but we haven't really seen an offensive glass performance out of this from you guys during your time here in Milwaukee. Just what do you think was the difference there on the offensive glass?
I guess you got to miss the shot first. Got to go get it. The guys are they got a mentality. They know the offensive boards are important to us. We've been trying to work on it, and the carryover. We got to do it again in the next game.
What do you think of you guys' maturity to handle a big lead? I know we talk about it all the time. Leads kind of tend to disappear in the NBA, and they just kind of handled it.
Yeah, it's tough. Lots of times, there's just so much talent in the league, so many good teams, and sometimes you get the early lead, and things just happen and it becomes a close game. So, today, we were able to keep the focus and keep it. So obviously, a good thing.
Zora Stevenson.
Coach, on Saturday you talked about the importance from improving between game 1 and game 2. How do you feel like the guys followed through on that tonight?
Yeah, we just got to keep getting better. Between 2 and 3, we got to get better. So I think the locker room knows that that's what we got to just have that mindset of getting better.
Jim Ozarski.
Bryn going off like this is something you have seen all season. But what kind of lift did that provide, I guess, to have him be that proficient right away?
Yeah, no, when you make shots, it opens things up. We got to share the ball. We got to play with each other. I think get good shots, attack the paint, attack from the three-point line. So certainly when Bren and Pat and Chris and different guys are making shots, hopefully they're getting the ball on time, on target, things like that. Good things happen for us when we play with the pass.
You guys played with different levels of composure these last 2 games. In game 1, it was to win a game, close a game defensively. Tonight, obviously, there's some hard fouls. There were technicals, flagrancy. How did you see your team sort of handle that in kind of the crucible of playoff basketball?
Yeah, no, there's a lot of emotions. There's a lot of things happening. So you just have to keep your composure. You have to understand what you're dealing with, not give back anything. So the guys just got to continue to do that.
Steve McGarty.
Just how do you explain the difference in three-point accuracy from the other day to tonight? Is it just a matter of some nights shots are called, some nights aren't? How do you turn around from 5 of 31 to 22 three-pointers tonight?
Yeah, no, you just got to keep playing the right way. You got to, guys got to shoot it with confidence. They got to let it fly. They got to know they're going to get threes. And so, I think the activity offensively, the attack can create good looks for us, and we just got to continue to, let it fly when you're open.
All right, thanks, bud.
All right, thank you, guys.
All right, Mike Budenholzer there, and I'm curious from both of your perspectives as former players, and more importantly to this discussion, coaches, take away the 2-0 lead. How does this blowout of a result affect Game 3 and Game 4 strategically moving forward, if at all?
Well, I think what happens if you're Miami, those guys are going to be really watching film, watching so much negative stuff that usually that I know for me as a player, that made me play really well. I watched it like I can't believe we got beat like this, and you were frustrated with yourself, and you came out with a lot of fire as a player. If you're looking as a team like Milwaukee, sometimes you get a little complacent, like, oh man, how many threes do we make? You start feeling good about yourself. Yeah. But I don't know. I watching this Miami team right now, they don't have any sort of the feeling they had last year in the bubble, kind of edgy, getting after people, just doing the same thing over and over again. Great defense, great ball pressure. They don't seem to be the same team, so I'm not sure. But I would say that Miami's going to come out fired up Game 3 after just getting dusted in Game 2.
Zeke, in terms of the strategy for Eric Spoelstra, for instance, how well can you even assess what you tried to do in this game, given how quickly it got away from you? Is that even? Can you even point to that as the issue in a game like this?
Yeah, I think what Miami has to do first is regain their competitive spirit. I felt that Milwaukee came out and just knocked all of their competitive spirit out of them. And if you don't compete, then you can't execute a game plan. And I just thought Milwaukee tonight was just more competitive and competed harder than Miami did. And also, they in competing hard, they also were loose too, though, Matt. Mm-hmm. They got up 58 three-point shots. And, as Coach Bud just said, hey, we just let it fly. And, to let it fly, 58 times from the three-point line at home, that's great when you're making shots. Now, when you go on the road, we all know that if you take that many threes and you're missing, it can be a long night. So, they got to make shots, they got to make threes. But for Miami, the most important thing they got to do is get their competitive spirit back.
You expect you would see that in Game 3 from a proud Miami organization. We'll take a break here, hear from Giannis Antetokounmpo on the other side. The highlights of this game.